Welcome to day 1 on the hard stand. It is day 2 on the hard stand, and it's getting hard. It is day 3 on the hard stand. It is day 4 on the hard stand. I don't even know what day it is anymore, but we are on the hard stand and we are working hard. It's day 11 on the hard stand. Day 14 on the hard stand. It's been 2 weeks. I'm ready to go back in the water. We don't even have half the boat done yet.
Welcome back to Stella Overboard.
If you're new here, we're Camille and Jesse, a young couple who worked in the Australian mines to buy a sailboat and chase a different kind of life out at sea. But right now, our sailboat isn't exactly sailing. She's out of the water for some major maintenance, upgrades, and repairs. And what started out as a simple haul out has turned into a much bigger job than we expected. Definitely say this is one of the worst things that's happened so far. And of course, we're doing it ourselves with some amazing help from our friends, neighbors, and Yacht Supplies Malaysia. But before we can get into everything that needs to be done, and trust us, it's a lot more than we thought, we first need to get Stella out of the water, which was definitely one of the scariest parts of this whole project. All right. We are on our way to haul out. Oh, this is so scary. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're about to get hauled out. Jesse's got to reverse us into the sling. Very nervous and scary. You go to and I are on ropes, so let's get this done. Abby! Ah! Bonjour! We're coming to be with you. Okay. Which side do you want to be? You good on that one? As we come into the slipway, we have to go stern first, which means reversing the boat in. Thankfully, Jesse's an amazing driver and handles the reverse effortlessly. While he carefully backs Stella in, my friend Yagoda and I run to the sides to grab the lines so we can tie Stella in and secure her into the slipway. You go to that side, you'll pick that rope? Okay. Yeah. And then just go under the wire. Yeah. Can you reach? Yeah. It may. That is. I don't think I'll slip over it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Too thick. Wait, there's another. Yeah. Just here. Just do it. Over. Yeah. There you go. That's gonna be fine. Okay. Yeah. Hold. I know. Thank you. Thank you. Woo!
High five. How good job, dude.
We are now gonna get lifted. We are currently being lifted by a travel lift, which is a specialized U-shaped crane designed to lift boats out of the water for maintenance or storage. Heavy-duty fabric slings are passed under the hull to cradle the boat while the machine lifts it from the water and moves it onto land. After getting Stella positioned in the slings, one of the workers jumps into the water to make sure everything is perfectly placed under the hull. And even though the crew here does this every single day and are professionals, it is still pretty nerve-wracking to watch your entire home get lifted into the air. Once everything looks good, up we go. Time to get off. Oh my God! Dun, da, da, da. Stella is slowly lifted out of the water and carried onto land. And the first thing we do once we get her out is give her a serious power wash to blast off as much anti-foul and barnacles as possible so we have a little less scraping to do ourselves. This is a big boat. Then Stella basically turns into a car and drives herself slowly across the boatyard into her new neighborhood, where she'll be parked, stabilized, and ready for the next couple of weeks. But we originally thought this was only gonna be a 1-week job, and it quickly turned into a lot more weeks than we expected. So we better get to work straight away. Been on the hard for maybe 5 minutes and Jesse is ready to go. Can you tell us what's going on?
Well, we're taking off the anodes from our prop and the shaft. We found that there's a fair bit of play inside the cutlass there. So luckily I've ordered one of those already. So we're going to have to take the whole shaft out. And the plan is we're going to have to get the prop off. Obviously, remove any excess crap on the shaft, and then we're gonna have to get the dripless off and disconnect it from the gearbox. And then hopefully it should just slide past the rudder. And we've got a little leak or water build up inside our rudder, so we're just letting that slowly drain.
And just within the first hour of being on the hard, things were already not going according to plan. Our first job was to remove the propeller so we could slide the shaft out. But the prop hub absolutely refused to come off. Oh my god. There goes the piece of wood. Even with the strength of 3 people pulling on it, it just would not budge. So first, we tried hammering it. That didn't work. Then we tried using a propeller puller, which is literally designed for removing props. I'm more interested to see how this thing works.
It's tight.
But that didn't work either. Next up, the heat gun. Can't even see it, that's great. Oh.
I like that, eh?
And our new best friend Alan, who was our hard stand neighbor, came over to give us a hand. Yeah. Oh. But still nothing. So we decided to move inside the boat and try removing the coupling, which connects the propeller shaft to the engine. But of course, with our luck, that didn't want to come off either. After a lot of pulling, twisting, cussing, and a heat gun, that's a lot of flame, it finally came free. Okay, so this is how you get the shaft off of your sailboat. This is called a coupling. This thing is attached to the gearbox. This needs to come off, unattached obviously, to the gearbox. Now, there's a nut in here that you need to make sure to take off to get this off, and a washer. There is a little metal, kind of like magnetic piece. Don't ever lose this, or else you won't be able to put your coupling back on. Okay. That's extremely important. I'm gonna give that a clean. You wanna do it? But we could not celebrate for long because that's when we realized something else. We can't remove the shaft with the rudder still in place. And to make things even worse, we soon discovered our rudder had way too much water inside of it. And thanks to our friend Jeff at Yacht Supplies Malaysia, he came over and showed us where we could drain the rudder and even offered to help us patch and repair it.
So you might have piled a lot of...
Let's see, got a lot of water dripping out. We've got holes in the rudder now.
Yeah, there's water coming out of it.
But of course, it's never that simple, because now we need to lift Stella back up in the slings so we can drop the rudder out of the boat. So, wish us luck. Even though the Rebak Marina team makes it look easy, dropping the rudder is no joke. The first thing we had to do was remove the steering quadrant. So we had a professional come from YSM to assist us, because this is a very serious thing to do. You need to take out the metal piece mounted on top of the rudder, which your steering cables are also connected to. So you don't want to mess that up or do it incorrectly. But once that was off, we were slowly able to lower the rudder a bit. Yeah, it's coming down lots. But not fully, because we need to go back up in the travel lift. So Stella was in the slings again, this time really high, because the rudder shaft extends pretty far up the boat. With the help of the team at Rebak and our good friend Derek, we were able to drop the rudder safely out of the boat. Wow. There you have it, the rudder. There she is. Once the rudder was out, we could finally remove the shaft as well. And for the first time, we felt like we were actually making some progress. But not for long, because next we had to let the rudder dry out. And while that was happening, we moved on to the cutlass bearing, which is the bearing that supports the propeller shaft from moving and vibrating while the engine is running. Luckily, Jessie had already ordered one from Australia ahead of time, just in case. So at this point, we were feeling pretty prepared. But we were not prepared for what was about to happen next.
So I would definitely say this is one of the worst things that's happened so far. Our cutlass bearing didn't fit. Put it all the way in there, smushed it in, and then the shaft did not want to go in. So now we have to take it out. And when I mean we, I mean Jessie.
That's right. After removing the old cutlass bearing, cleaning and prepping the P-bracket and the surrounding area, we spent about 4 hours trying to press the new one in. We thought this was normal to take some time and patience because a friend of ours had told us they struggled with theirs too and it worked perfect. So we thought this was normal. But after getting the new cutlass bearing in, we realized something was wrong. The shaft would not fit back through it. It had compressed slightly while we were installing it, making the inner diameter too tight for the shaft, which meant we then had to spend even more time cutting out the brand new cutlass bearing we had installed and purchased. So now we're left without a cutlass bearing and about 3 steps behind where we thought we were. So, of course, the size we needed was nowhere to be found locally, which means we had 2 options. 1, wait 2 weeks for a new one to be shipped to Malaysia, or make a day trip to Australia and pick up a custom-made one that a friend recommended. So, I'm guessing you know where this is going. Jessie is now heading back to Australia. A quick trip back to his homeland for some necessary boat parts and, of course, a few surfboards too. So, stay tuned for next week's episode to see what Jessie returns with and if the new cutlass bearing actually works. And hopefully everything goes to plan and we can finally start making some real progress, repairing the rudder and getting Stella ready for some paint. And if you have already seen it, you also know we've been working on our through hauls. So check out that video and let us know what you think or if you have any advice for along the way. Thanks so much for watching and see you soon.